hold you guys long tonight. I'm going to talk for just 3 minutes about time. I'm going to talk about time and our gifts. We're here to make an impact. We're here to make a difference. But we only have so much time. Time is precious. Let me say that again. Time is precious. Now, the Lord has a will for each and everybody's life. That will is to be done over a specific period of time. You've only got so much time. So our time is precious. Do not get distracted with things that are not important. We're only here for a short time, as we've said often and frequently. Time passes on. We're only here for a short time. Here's why I was late, and I like what Robert said. A friend knocked on my door. She was hunting help. She had a flat tire. So I've got 3 friends up there, and I was all dressed for church. So I knocked on everybody's door, and I asked some folks, but their sons wasn't home. There was nobody home. Time, man. I said, I'll help you. And she said, no, I should be going to church with you. You're on your way to church, and I'm not going to let you stop and help me. I said, I'll make time. I can call. And here's what she said. Here's what she said. I'm right down the street, so I'll leave home slow. What she said. I won't let you stop and help me. Timing is everything. It really is. Once you stop and think about it, it's time. And we're only here for a short time. I'm going to read some scriptures first, and then after that, I'm going to say a few things. I'm trying not to hold y'all long because I know y'all are tired of hearing me. Been hollering and screaming so much. You're sick of me, right? Time. It says, John 2:17. The world and its desires will pass away, but whoever does the will of the Lord will live forever. Let's impact Heather's life while we have time. Now let me say this. Our time to us is precious, but let me say this. It's even more precious to somebody else. And I won't stop to explain now. But as I'll head back and I'll explain that. I'll try to. We've only got so much time. Why am I harping on time? If we don't stop to make an impact, if we don't step forward, who will? We need to make that impact. And let me say this. Here's why it's so important. Time, all you have is so much time. If you don't act, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, if you don't do what the Lord has allowed for you to do, once that time is gone, it's gone. You can't get that time back. As long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent us. Night it will come when no one can work. There will be a time in our life, if we don't act, we won't get it done. Time. Time is everything. Proverbs says, do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. Who knows what tomorrow is going to bring? Why is that so important? Tomorrow is a promise. Who knows? You might be sick, and you may not even be here tomorrow. Mark says, but about the day nor the hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard and be alert. You do not know when the time will come. Work today. Why is he harping on time? He's just reading scriptures about time. I'll explain in 3 minutes. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says there is a time for everything and a season. A time and a season. If we don't do it in time, you won't have time. Time and a season for every activity under the sun. Here's where I'm going with time. I had a friend, not this week, but just last week, he helped me on my truck all day. And it seemed like that was the worst week of my life. Everything I put my hands on broke. So my friend said, I'm going to help you get this fixed. So we changed a water pump on the truck. And I had to go here and there hunting parts and stuff. But he helped me, and he helped me all day. He helped me all day. And we worked on that truck, and we worked on that truck, and we worked on that truck. But while we worked on that truck, we talked, and we talked, and we talked, and we talked. And what did we talk about? Church. and what he had planned on doing. He said, I see you go and come every Sunday getting to church. And he asked me about church. And he said, who speaks up there? I said, we've got a really good preacher up there. I said, he does an excellent job. Not me, but him. I said, well, you ought to come here and speak. He does a really wonderful job. I said, I help him sometimes. I said, but he's a really good speaker. And he said, oh, do you preach? I said, I try to. He said, really? He said, let me share something with you. He said, when I retire, I plan to preach also. I said, really? And that got me excited. He said, but I'm not there yet. He said, I'm not quite there yet. And boy, I got going. I said, I wasn't quite there yet myself. And I'm still not. I try hard, though. I try. I said, and let me say this. I felt the same way you now feel. I felt like I wasn't there yet. But I began and I tried. And I attempted and we talked about church. And we worked on that truck all day. And I was so frustrated with that truck. I said, Lord, is we ever going to get this truck fixed? And worked on that truck and worked on that truck. And we talked and we talked and we talked and we talked about church. And he kept telling me how he was going to one day preach. He's a smart guy. Hey, this guy has helped me with so much to where it's unreal. And we worked on the truck all day, and he showed me some things that I thought couldn't happen. But he showed me some things, and after we got through, and I had had a day. Now, I had had fun with him as we talked and worked on the truck, and we had talked and talked. After it was done, I was happy it was done. And I'm happy that happened with that truck, because I got to spend that day with him. And we talked about church, what he had planned on doing. And the next 4 days, he would be gone. My buddy is gone. I don't know exactly what happened, but it doesn't matter. He's gone. But here's what sticks to in my mind. He said, I'm going to preach one day when I retire. He didn't get to retire. No man knoweth the day, the hour, the time. As we sat back there, I'm so glad we had that Christmas service. Me and Roy, as you sang, me and Roy, we talked about how you sounded, how much we enjoyed you, how much we enjoyed being here. You never know whose life you impact and how you impact. Our gifts, they're given to us to make an impact. As she sang, hey, this morning, I cannot think of her name to save my life.
Sandy?
Yeah, thank you. I was so touched. That effort that she put into her heart. You never know what tomorrow brings. But let me say this. Don't ever feel like you have to wait. Don't ever put it off until tomorrow. Because it's not promised. All this week I've seen my buddy's car. And he was a good guy. And here's what, after we worked on my truck all day, I tried to pay him. He wouldn't take a dime. And then I said, man, yeah, I'm going to pay you something, guy. I said, man, we've been on this truck all day, and this was a long, drawn-out ordeal. I said, I'm not going to pay you. And then I stopped. I didn't stop then, but after I heard the news, I saw his car hadn't moved, and once they told me what had happened, I was shocked. And then I thought back. He helped me 3 or 4 times. He never let me pay him back. And each time he helped me, it was a long, drawn-out ordeal. He said, I see you going and coming. He said, if you ever need help, I'll do anything I can for you. But I will let you pay me back. The impact he made on me, here's where I'm going. But we need to make that impact on others. How do we do it? In time. We don't know how much time we have. We have to act. Your voice is truly a gift. So glad we have you here. Roy and I sat back there and we had a conversation while you sing, and it was we enjoyed you singing, but that was what we spoke about, how well you sung. And it made an impact on both Roy and myself. But let me say this. Why and how did she make an impact? She stepped forward and she used her gift, and she did it in time. Let me say this. I can only think about when we get to heaven, there's going to be so many folks there who had a gift, and they never got to use that gift because they didn't step up and use time wisely. I would have did that, Lord. I should have did that, but I just didn't. Now, Roy had planned on singing, and I tried to encourage him. I said, I'll help you. But as he sat there and heard her sing, he said she had to have been trained. I said, no, I heard him say that they just used to sing as kids. She's not trained. I said, but you know what? She gets up there and she does it. But he's going to sing one day, and I'm going to say this, guys. Man, I've seen some things that I've said wasn't going to happen. Boy, I've got some friends here now. I'm happy they're here, and I know it's the Lord has moved, and he continues to move. But he works through us. He works through us making that impact. These gifts we have, but we have to use them, and we have to use them now, y'all. If there was ever a time we need to use those gifts, it's now. Don't wait. And let me say this, I don't care how old you are or how young. Whatever gift you have, you use it. You can impact somebody's life with that gift if you have. I think about my buddy, and here's what I'm happy here's what he shared with me. He said, I don't go, but do not think I don't believe. He said, I believe. He said, I go sometimes, but I just don't go every Sunday. And he was saying why he didn't. But here's what I'm happy that time I got to spend with him. He professed his faith to me that he did believe. Did believe. And here's why I know he had to believe. I've seen some days, man, I know when he saw me coming, he said, oh my goodness. But he never said no. He helped me every time he could, and he wouldn't let me pay him a dime. Now, why do I keep saying that? You never know. And I know he was somebody who thought, I can't make an impact. I know that's how he felt. I'm someone who can't make an impact. There's so many people who feel that way. But how do they know? If we don't give them that opportunity, that chance, that time. And let me say this. We need to continue as we have. And I'm going to tell you guys, I'm proud of you guys because we began some things, and I'm happy we're doing these things. We're making an impact, and let's continue to make an impact. As we sat back there and we ate it, and I can only think about Cheryl. I can hear her say, man, he just talks and won't shut up. But why am I like that? I need just to make an impact. We're doing some good things. And let me say this, guys. There are some folks who we need to be here as much as we can. I'm going to say that again. We need to be here as much as we can. If only one shows up, and I heard somebody say this, if just one shows up, it gives somebody a place to come. I had some friends as we sat back there, and just as we sat back there, I see them often, frequently, talk about how happy we're doing the things that we are. Now, time. I'm going to encourage you to continue to use your gifts. Use them. They're impacting people that are important. Oh, I enjoyed hearing you sing, Cheryl. I really did. I sat back there, and Roy and I were going back and forth, back and forth. I said, well, we're not going to sound like her, but we can try. That's all we can do is try, right? But let me say this. We're here to make an impact. We do make an impact if we use those gifts. But we have to step forward. And the time is now. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. The day of salvation is today. You do not know who do not have tomorrow. If you can impact somebody's life, that may be their last day. And I ask the Lord all the time, why are you putting me in these situations? So you can go tell somebody, Daryl, all you have is a big mouth. Open it. We need to share our stories. There's folks going home every day and all the time. Every day and all the time. And I've heard him say this, and it's so true. When we know that they believe they're in a better place. But how about the ones that we don't know about? How about the ones who did not know? Why are we so important? Why are we so important? Her voice impacted somebody. The way he speaks impacts folks. The way you work with kids, it impacts Folks, the way you take your time and buy me this deal, and I can't put the book down, this little 3-minute devotion. Here was my thing. I was going to read 1 each day. In just a 3 more days, I'll be through with it. Can't put it down. A gift. It may seem small to you, but you never know what it means to somebody else. Each and every one of us here, no matter how old or young, you're here because it's still stuff that he has for you to do. You have a gift. Share it. I'm not going to hold you much longer because I know I talk forever. And let me say this. He kept saying he wasn't there yet. Don't let anything hold you back. There's sometimes I will tell myself. Sometimes, hey, today I'm not as fluid. The words might hang. And sometimes I'll think, well, I may wait until tomorrow. Nope. Tomorrow's not promised. Even if the words hang, we have to do what we have to do. Even if it doesn't sound just right, even if it doesn't look the way you want to look. If the Lord has put it on your heart, do it and do it then. Do it that day. I'm so happy that truck broke down. I'm so happy we spent that day. And I was so frustrated after that day was over. But just 4 days after that day was over, I was so happy it happened to where it was unreal. So, Lord, I'm glad you gave me that time with him. I'm glad I know that he's all right. And let me close with this. Do not judge anybody. I don't care what your circumstances with that person. I don't care what your experience is. They might have had a bad day. My buddy, as we talked that day, he told me some things, and I had known him for a while. But for some reason that day, he opened his heart up to me. Why? Because just like he always had time for me, I had time for him. He was like me. There's some folks don't fit in everywhere. There's some folks see us coming and say, oh my goodness, I don't want to bother with her all the day. We need to take time. And we need to make time. What if I hadn't had that day? All week I would still be seeing his car, and it still seemed unreal because he was a lot younger man I am. It makes us think about time. And he seemed like he was fine. That day we laughed and we talked and we worked on my truck, and he was so full of life. His hopes, his dreams, what he had planned on doing. And here's what I was shocked. He planned to preach. And I know he would have been good because this guy was smart. I mean, he was smart. I went to school, but hey, this guy was smart. I had to work hard. I made the grades. I did all right. But this guy, there's some folks, once you get around, you just know they're smart. That's how he was. He was just smart. And he would have been good. But time, that gift, we have to use it. I think about somebody who's no longer sitting on the back seat. Man, I'm glad I'm not sitting on the back seat. Once I stand before the Lord, I can say that I tried, right? But how about if we don't have tomorrow, we have to stand before the Lord and he said, I sent you? That's like I said this morning. Roy, he touched my heart. Today, once we talked about Charles. He said, are you going to give him a lift? He put it on me. That's what we need to do. We need to put it on ourselves. What are we going to do? How are we going to impact folks' lives? If we can. Don't ever think you're insignificant. Don't ever think the Lord doesn't have work for you to do. Do not ever feel like you can't be used. Do not ever feel like you're not important. I don't care if you're this tall or this tall. The Lord can use you if you're humble yourself and allow yourself to be used. And in this world that we now live in, we need everybody doing what we can do. So I'm going to let you guys go because I'm going on and on and on. It's so unreal how time flies once we get up here. But the Lord is a wonderful God. He does wonderful things. But how do we do it? Often he works through us, right? I'm so happy that we made an impact in some people's lives. That's what we're here to do. Let's continue doing that. Let's stay in faith, let's stay in prayer, and let's use those gifts, and let's use them now. Now is the time. Now is the season. Hey, the day is a day of salvation. Tomorrow's not promised. I'm going to close in prayer. Lord, as we go about our way, Lord, I just pray that we will always make time to share and do all that we can to share the word with folks, Lord. And I just pray that as my friend went on, Lord, I just pray, Lord, those words he professed, Lord, is how he felt in his heart, Lord. In your name I pray, because there's going to be a time, Lord, that we're all going to pass on. Lord, all we have to do is believe, but Lord, we have to believe deep there in our hearts. And Lord, I just pray that as we move forward, that we'll all believe and take that time, Lord, to share your word. And in your name, Lord, I pray. Amen. Amen.